August 15th, Thursday. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Alright, we slept in again a little bit. Because sleep was... It's fun when you go to bed at around 10:30 and you wake up at around 2:30 and you get like 2-ish, 2:30 in the middle of the night and can't go to sleep for another hour or so and go back to bed, and it's kind of like iffy if you sleep well after that. But that's what our sleep schedule is at the moment, and we're kind of trying to do our best to roll with it. I did write yesterday, but I only wrote for my Invader Zim fanfic canon event, about 600 words, which was better than I thought I would get, considering that the cat decided she wanted to be in the lap, at least. But the back pain that we had dealt with yesterday was like, Lee, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to sit on a pillow next to me, because I could not do this today. The way that I sit with her in my lap, it's like with my legs up on the couch, like crossed under me, and apparently, because it's like, the pain is actually probably more, like hip, pelvic region pain. It's not like back pain, it's like joint pain. Which is great, fantastic, I only use my legs for, like, everything, but it's not as bad today. I must have slept in a better way last night. But I think today I'm going to work on the Pseudopod piece. That's going to push the starting time a little bit further back, because, like, usually I start at 9 in the morning for, like, actual, like, putting pieces together for work stuff. I have to do system work soon too, though we were planning on tripping either sometime this weekend, probably. Yeah, sometime this weekend, maybe Sunday night and the Monday. We're not 100% sure yet. We have tabs, and we also have shrooms. The shrooms were a gift from our brother. About 2 grams of them. And, like, we've done shrooms before, but we've only done them once before. And the one time we did them was when we quite literally... That was a chaotic weekend. And I quite didn't understand, like, the trip was fine. We had a good time. But it was one of those things of, like, we were dating a person that we're still in love with, basically, like, 8 years later. 6 years later. We were dating them at the time. We were traveling together to go to a place upstate that we like to stay at in New York City, in the upstate New York. It's not really upstate New York, it's like Hudson Valley. But it's New York, they're gonna correct me. But as we were on our way up, it was the first time I was like, alright, my brother can stay home with my child and watch him until he has to go to my ex-wife's for the weekend. And my brother confirmed that he wasn't home. Because otherwise things would have been even worse when this happened. But somebody broke into the house. We're not sure how they got in. Through the back door, probably. But, like, they got in. I was gone. My brother was home. He had a few friends over. A couple of friends. Sean, like, one of them. I don't remember which ones also were here. But there was, basically, one of them they were in the basement, and one of them came upstairs to go into the kitchen to get something, and there was a guy standing in the kitchen, looking like he was waiting for something, and all of them decided to file out through the basement door to get outside. They were like, you know what, no, we're not going to stay in here, we're going to just leave. They didn't take anything. And my brother suspects it has something to do with, we've known somebody who's been murdered. Because it was his it was his drug dealer, and it was his drug dealer that he was working with, because he was also dealing at some points in time, which, whatever, it was weed, I don't care. But, my brother calls me, tells me that this happened. I start freaking out because, like, at that point, the partner and I had multiple arguments about, like, how I was basically just letting my brother run roughshod over my life, and that I should kick him out of the house, etc., etc., but he had nowhere to go. And it's not like my brother is a bad person. My brother is just a danger magnet kind of situation. Like, like, yes, he has, he has had substance abuse issues. Like, yes, he does have the, certain mental health disorders, but, like, hello, I have dissociative identity disorder. There's probably a reason why he also has some severe issues, mentally, and especially when it comes to drugs. Because, he had less support than I did and I have had over the years. But we were upstate New York. We were on our way. We had an argument in the car about it because in my head the relationship was over. This was like the final straw. I knew this was going to be the final straw. And, like, I did not give them a chance to just, like, we didn't actually have a real conversation about it. And yet we still decided to go upstate, do the weekend together. I pushed to do the shrooms because I hadn't done them before, and I was curious, and I wanted to, it's like, I've done acid before, and we've rolled together before. It was actually right after we got together when we rolled, and that was, like, the first time I had any sort of illicit substances, and I was 29 at the time, so, but, oh, a squirty's coming down. Yeah, I see him. Doing, 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 doing. I love the way that they move. The little loops. They're cute. But, so we do, and, they've tried to warn me. They've done various drugs before, a trick before, and, like, they tried to warn us, like, hey, like, this messes, like, this can, like, tripping when you're not necessarily in the best headspace may not be the best idea, blah, 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 like, and it was a valid warning, but I was like, you know what, I still want to try. For the sake of, like, my curiosity, we can set this aside. I know that the relationship is pretty much going to be over after this. I broke up with them out of fear that we wouldn't be able to work it out, and honestly, it was probably a good decision overall, because there was shit that happened afterwards between us and another person, who we don't speak to anymore. But I remember we were, it was like November-ish. It should have been a lot colder than it was, honestly, because we were in the mountains, but it was like late fall. And at one point while we were tripping, I was like, let's go outside and dance under the stars, because we were in, like, a mountain cabin kind of situation, which is a really cute little place. But we did that. It was like a really nice romantic type of situation, but, like, the rest of the trip, when we were going to go see the Koshin Reservoir and all that, like, that's when we ended up fighting. Like, fighting. And it was very dramatic for both of us. From both of us. Because we were tired, we're still, like, the one thing about tripping is, like, once you've tripped, you're in that headspace for, like, even once the drugs have gotten out of your system, you're in a trippy headspace for a little bit longer. And there's at one point where they got out of my car, slammed the door, threatened to walk home, or to, like, find their way home, basically. would not get back in the car. I had to basically beg them to get back in the car. I was like, you're not gonna get home this way. You know, it's like, there's not, I doubt you're gonna find your way home this way. But that was the last time we did shrooms. We've done acid since. We've done acid with them since. Like, we're still friends. We're still really close. But we weren't ready. Like, no, we were ready, but they weren't. It's not a matter of, like, who, they weren't ready, we weren't ready sort of situation. It was just, it was a relationship we both are really glad that we ended up having, even if at this point in time we're not together. And I don't see that, like, changing or happening again in our future. They know how we feel about them still. Like, that's not an issue at all. It was really funny because their ex-husband tried to warn them the other day. My ex went and warned me that you still have feelings for me, and we were so upset about it. Cass especially. Like, we're adults. We told them. We have told them. We still tell them. We confirmed that. We were like, we've told you this. You know this, right? Like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, it's not a surprise. It's like, it's not their problem. It's our feelings. We can love them and want to be with them romantically and not be a dick about it. Like, that's... Because they don't feel like they're, well, one, they especially don't feel like they're in the space for a relationship at the moment, but two, they're arrow ace-ish, you know what I mean? Like, they're not 100% sure that they're arrow, but I'm pretty sure that they are, to some degree, and the ace is, like, definite. Like, that was never an issue for us. But I don't know. One little squirty in the yard. Look at the squirty. Nom 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 nom. I'm gonna go in and write in a little bit and, like, have breakfast and try to work on that piece. Like, hopefully it won't take me too long because I would like to get it done and submitted. Like, I understand that, like, living deadline to deadline is rough, and we do have so many written pieces, but, like, we're not a short story person. We prefer writing long form stuff. And, which is funny because we don't have the attention span for long form stuff, writing wise either. Like, there's a reason why I pants everything, because it's the only way that it's going to get done. If I have to plan it and outline it, it is written in my head, and therefore I'm done. Oh, I got a birdie down there too. Well, if I move the camera to, like, show you guys this, they're gonna flip and lose, you know, run away, or at least the bird will probably fly away. Maybe I can try. I don't know. This is the morning vlog, keeping myself accountable. We need a job of some kind, something. Or at least, that's how it feels, because we're anxious as fuck about money, and we have enough to get through the end of the month. It doesn't mean that I know what's going to happen at the beginning of the month, or how much I'm going to have for the rest of it, but, like, I've lost, like, I'm out of room on credit cards. I'm at, you know, like, as I was telling and, like, I understand that credit cards are a trap, and, like, I had every intention, and still have every intention of paying everything back. I just, until I have the money, I can't. I gotta pay, like, the electric bill, I gotta pay the water bill, I gotta keep those things up. I mean, those are more important. I thankfully have an arrangement with my landlord that, like, I don't have to pay for rent until situation is better. And even then, like, I'm allowed to pay what I can pay. But that's because my landlord is family. I got lucky in that regard. And, like, technically, one day my son's gonna own a house. So, which I am forever grateful for, because the whole prospect of having to deal with, like, a housing situation, too. I'm watching my best friend deal with that right now, and it's like, nobody deserves this. Why can't billionaires just all fucking die and all of their money get dispersed to everybody? Why can't we just eat the fucking rich? Why does capitalism have to limp along in a late stage? I'm so tired. I just want to make art and get paid for it so that I can live. And I can feed my kid and myself. Just, yeah, my ex-wife could take him, I guess, but, like, I don't think she wants him full-time. She has argued that she does, but I don't think she actually wants him full-time. And I do, and I also feel that, like, her parenting style and my parenting style are very different. And I don't think that my 14 going on 15-year-old needs to have that level of responsibility shoved on him at this point in time. Like, he's already getting burnt out with school. Like, not yet, obviously, because the school year is over, but, like, last year when he was in school, he was burnt out. I hope that, like, somehow high school is nicer to him than middle school was. Because it was for us, but, like, if it's not, it's not. But, like, he doesn't need to push himself harder or anything like that. The kid is not going to college. He doesn't want to. He wants to be a school bus driver. And go for it, buddy. We'll figure out how to get you to CDL school so you can be a school bus driver. And, you know, when you can be a school bus driver, you know, and all that, and you can do all of that in our state, go for it. They need bus drivers anyway. He loves school buses. Why take him away from the thing that, like, one of the things that he loves the most? Why is that, like, a shameful thing? You know? Or, like, oh, but, like, you know, his grandmother says this sometimes, but, like, he's so smart. I'm like, yeah, I know he is. He wants to turn all of that, like, energy and thought and everything to school buses. Let him. Let him be who he wants to be. Let him, like, this is what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. If he decides that, like, after he's been a bus driver for a hot minute, that he doesn't want to be a school bus driver anymore, sure. We can figure that out. People change. He's been like this since he was 4 years old, but, like, people change and he's allowed to. He's allowed to eventually change his mind. I'm allowed to eventually change my mind. Thing is I've been writing basically since whatever age we could actually write and start putting a story together, because I enjoy stories. I enjoy telling them. I enjoy writing them down. I enjoy creating things. I enjoy playing with characters who aren't mine. I enjoy playing with my own characters. It's a shame that, like, I understand the whole copyright thing, but, like, at the same time, though, why are we letting these corporations have, and, like, I understand that copyright protects the little person, too, you know, like, but, I don't know, man. I have a lot of thoughts. Maybe way less regulation. I can understand why Dr. A was like very like free market, way less regulation in some degrees. I get it now. It doesn't always have to be that way either. Like I think there has to be a balance somewhere, and like maybe one day somebody will want our paintings. Maybe one day, like actually would be really cool if somebody would buy our paintings. Or buy a couple of them for like, I don't know, like, even if they were like $30 a piece. Because I have so many of them. So many of them. And one day I'm gonna showcase them all. And it's like, they're not all mine. Some of them are Angelica. Most of them are Angelica's. She's the one who really, really enjoys painting the most. But I enjoy it too. Because it's different than writing. It's different. It's still expressing something. It's still getting it out onto the page. It just in a different way. And I enjoy the diamond painting. But I like the diamond painting because it's, it's a thing to keep my hands busy. And I started another one. And I think once I'm done this one, I might take the extra ones that I have, like the extra drills, and create another. Like, I have several blank canvases for diamond paintings that I've been using, and I've done 2 of them, and I didn't like the second one as much. First one was quite literally just like, it looks like TV static. Like from an old television, looks like the static on a TV. And I really liked it because it's like pixel art, but like in physical form. I don't know. We're an artist, and I like to go from starving to thriving, thanks. And granted, we're a heavy person. We're not starving right now, but money is about to get real tight, and I have a lot of things that I need to do, I guess, to fix it. Fuck capitalism. Fuck capitalism, fuck billionaires, fuck the greed. I would say fuck the government, but like... yeah. I don't know, I'm gonna go in and have food. Bye.